My name is Anna Korpi. I'm the Education and Science Counsellor at the Embassy of Finland in Singapore. And together with me, I have our intern, Fanny Sofia. We are really happy to present Finland, study in Finland, as one of the very good destinations for the Philippines students as well. And we have titled this session, Study in the Happiest Country in the World, no less. We are really happy to be here and share something of Finland with you as we go. Let me just share my presentation now. All right. Like I said, we are indeed one of the happiest countries in the world, and maybe in this presentation we will try to explain a little bit why that is and why we would be an excellent choice for your future studies and also your future career. First, we want to share that maybe not everybody knows where Finland is located. We are indeed back in the north of Europe, and we are part of the Nordic countries together with Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland. And we share a lot of similarities between the Nordic countries, but also, of course, we are part of the European Union and proud members of Europe in that sense. But of Finland specifically, we always say that Finland offers very many good opportunities for study and work, especially because we have nowadays very many high-quality companies, very many high-technology companies, and many companies that are working really in the forefront of their industries. Many are, of course, linked tightly to the latest research and innovation coming from their innovation ecosystem. And of course, we have, because of our history, we have also, and some of the leading companies that we have, for example, like Nokia, we have very good ecosystems for technology and sort of the sort of activities around these clusters. But of course, we are outside of the innovation and technology. We are of course known a lot for education. Of course, for the K-12 education, but of course, we always want to say that also the higher education institutions in the different parts of Finland are very high quality and offer very good opportunities for higher education studies for both Finnish and international students. And finally, we are really, really proud that these days we are one of the leading countries in the world for sustainability efforts, both on the sort of policy level, on the national level, but also very much on what the universities, research institutions, and companies are doing in the sustainability, in creating sustainable solutions, clean tech solutions, renewable energy solutions, all of this that will hopefully make this country, this world more sustainable in the future. We take this pledge, for example, for our climate change targets very, very seriously. But then we always, of course, want to highlight the other side of life in Finland. It is not only work and innovation. We also think that part of what makes Finland unique, what makes the Nordic countries unique is of course this kind of work-life balance that we also believe is beneficial for success in work and of course in studies as well. We very much value the sort of balance between these different elements in life, and sort of people really want to have time for their families, for their friends, to exploring the beautiful nature in Finland, and really for some other projects and passions they might have outside of just the working life. And I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans on the happiness as well. I think these are some of the issues that we do have sort of very interesting opportunities in Finland, interesting careers and jobs. But at the same time, we do have always the potential and possibility to do something else as well, and take time off for holidays and weekends and all this. And our country, of course, offers very good opportunities for this. Finally, of course, Finland is one of the safest and most stable and effective countries in the world. So often, for example, our international students say that they are really amazed by how well just the everyday life works, how well the, for example, public transportation works, how well the infrastructure is, so that you don't really have to worry that much about these daily things. You can just go ahead with your life. So here, I think I have mentioned many of these things already, but of course, starting with the fact that we are happiest. Sometimes as Finns, we don't even understand ourselves what's behind this, but I guess the answer is really that you can have a safe and good quality life in Finland with interesting career opportunities and interesting possibilities for you to find your own path. That's not the same for everybody. We have really people finding their strengths and motivations in different things, and that's really possible in Finland. We are, of course, like I said, high on the innovation rankings, and we are truly a technology superpower. But indeed, like I said, also we want to be more sustainable and make efforts for the, let's say, better future in general. Okay, on the education side, you as sort of participants to this event are, of course, mostly interested in the sort of turquoise green part of this picture, which is, of course, the higher education. We have different kinds of universities. We have the research universities that offer degrees all the way up to the doctoral degrees. And then we have sort of more professionally oriented, more work-life oriented universities of applied sciences that offer that very much focus on both education, higher education, and then also working closely together with the industry, with the companies and their sort of R&D. But they have a little bit of different profiles. But in Finland, it is very much, as you see here, we have arrows going between the boxes. So it's very, very possible to move between these different sort of sectors. So even if you start, for example, a bachelor's degree in your University of Applied Science, you can then continue the studies in a master's degree in the research universities. We have in total 13 universities in Finland and then 22 universities of applied sciences, and all together they offer nowadays more than 500 degree programs in English. And of course the sort of focus is on the last word there, meaning that of course as an international student in Finland you study in English. We of course encourage students to know a bit of Finnish as well. That will help with the sort of daily life, but also of course finding a job and all that. But as a starting point for the studies, that's not a requirement. We do have universities in different parts of Finland, some from south to the north in Lapland, and also from the west to east. And this has been something that we have been developing. We believe that it's very important to have high quality, high sort of knowledge level institutions in all of Finland. So where to find then your suitable program from these 500 programs that are on offer? The best place is to go on a website called studyinfo.fi and search with the field or the theme that you are specifically interested in, and it will list based on the level, whether it's a bachelor's or a master's or even of course a doctorate degree. Then it will list the available options, and you can then find also the admissions criteria or the details of those programs, language requirements and all that within the same page. And you will also, of course, apply to this same page on studyinfo.fi. Usually the application period starts somehow in late November and ends, the deadline is usually somehow in the beginning of January, latest mid-January for the sort of most of the programs. But some have also sort of application timelines outside of this time frame. But as a kind of rule of thumb, things happen at the end of the year where you should prepare your documents and your applications. We always want to say that even though we have also, for example, student recruitment agents working with our universities, and that might be helpful in some cases, but we always want to say that there is no, officially in Finland side, there is no fee for submitting an application. So that is completely free of charge. And then you find a lot of very useful information about the study in Finland in general, the listing of universities and all this on a website, studyinfinland.fi. So these two websites are usually the most important places where you want to start looking into opportunities in Finland. Then, of course, the next question often is the costs. And for students coming from outside of the EU, there is a tuition fee, but I would say that is quite moderate compared to many other countries. Usually on the bachelor's level, there's quite a range between the different programs and universities, but the range is something between 4,000 euros a year to about 12,000 euros a year, and then on a master's level, it's a bit higher. But that's usually the range where we find the programs. Then on top of that, the student residence permit requirements is that you have about a 1 year's worth of living expenses on your bank account, so that we show that they see that you can support yourself, and then you will be safe and healthy living in Finland, so that you have this money available when you come. And that the sort of requirement is that a little bit less than 7,000 euros a year. Then, of course, one of the most interesting questions for international students is the question that are there scholarships available? And the answer is that yes, all of these universities offer scholarships. They have their own systems for that. Some offer sort of full scholarships, some offer partial scholarships, and some offer sort of, for example, fee waivers whenever you have, for example, completed a certain amount of credits within your first year. Then in the next year you will have sort of a decrease or sort of waived fee, for example. So there are different formats for that, and usually you will find the information directly with the university and directly with the program that you are applying for. On the doctoral level, we don't have any fees in students for doctoral studies, and for that level, we have different options for scholarships, or sometimes there's even salary positions with universities, and there's a lot of sort of foundations, for example, that offer PhD scholarships or stipends. But of course, often it is so that you first would have to have somehow a connection to a Finnish university where you have an agreed PhD placement, and then you can start to look for the funding opportunities. Then I would ask the kind of true experts on this, meaning now Fanny Sofia, to tell us a little bit about her experience having just recently graduated from a Finnish university.
Yes, thank you, Anna. So, hello all. My name is Fanny Sofia, and my major is educational sciences. And as Anna already said, yes, I graduated this spring. And this picture is actually from last spring. If you can see, the red overalls that I'm wearing is like the sign of a really vibrant student life. So, especially during spring and autumn, we have many events. I would say weekly even, like 2 to 3 events that usually gather a lot of students together, which is something that I love. It's called something like I study, but at the same time, I have many events to attend to. So you really need to learn how to say no to all of those, or some of those, I mean. And what I would like to point out is that why I like to study in Finland, or why I like to study, is that the studies are really flexible. So even though I was taking many courses from my own major, I still had time to do environmental sciences and multiculturalism. And on top of those, I studied at least like 3 different languages, because I wasn't tied to this one specific major. I could just I had the freedom to choose other subjects as well, and do like these online courses from different universities. So even though you would choose one university, you're not tied to that one place. Also, the work-life balance, what Anna has been explaining about, is also, you know, in student life, let's say you have many courses, I would still say you have freedom to do a part-time job, or if you decide not to work at the same time, that's also fine. So for my first 2 years, I was only focusing on school because I wanted to do well. But since I got the hang of it, like how to study, how to get good grades without killing myself, then I decided to take a part-time job. So I was working for Monday to Wednesday and only studying Thursday and Friday. And imagine I still graduated. So yeah. Also, what I really like about Finland is that the society is really student friendly. So whenever you start studying, basically you get discounts to everything. You get like 50% off like public transportation, all the museums, the movie theaters, all that. All those places are supporting you as you study because they know you have little money. Also, we have really good school cafeterias. So whether you like to cook or not, it's really cheap. It's affordable. You don't have to, save a lot of money to survive those years as you study. Yeah, I would also say that only recently, like as I was doing my master's, I noticed that the student life is really connected with the working life. So most of us do internships. If you come to Finland, you also have a chance to do an internship. So I would highly suggest you to do one in a Finnish company, or get an internship like from your own country, because you get those credits transferred to your major, and you're already kind of like ahead of your game, like connected with the working life. But yeah, that's all from me.
Thanks, Fanny, Sofia, and I think you already touched on the kind of working life side of things. So we will end the presentation just quickly with the word on this too. So of course, we really welcome the students and of course other talents as well, but especially the students that have studied in Finland to stay in Finland and work and find an opportunity for your career. And then we have just recently made a reform on the residence permits, so that you can actually extend your residence permits in Finland for 2 years after your graduation to have time to find a job. And this of course means that Finland is very welcoming for international talents. And of course, something that we would like to always recommend is that whenever you graduate, you remember to join the alumni network of your university. And nowadays they also arrange, of course, activation and sort of information networking and opportunities also for their alumni networks. Then finally, we will end here, just kind of like a small recap of what to do next if you got interested in Finland. So you first could go on studyinfo.fi, like I said, to look for the programs that are available and find the suitable one for you, find more information about their admissions. Then once you have found that and prepared your documents, you apply for the programs, and at the same time you apply for the scholarships that you are interested in. Then you wait for the acceptance letter, and once you have that, you are able to come to the Finnish embassy in Manila to apply for your student residence permit. And of course, start working on the other arrangements like accommodations and to sort of moving to Finland. So without further ado, we would like to sort of really thank you for taking this time and your interest in Finland. We would like to say that there's still many other opportunities to find out more. Many of the Finnish universities this fall are arranging their own sort of virtual events or even, of course, physical events, but often they have these kind of virtual open houses, and you are able to find them on their websites directly. Then from our side, we are also arranging another sort of webinar event called Future is Made in Finland, where we sort of explore different recipes for success. And we still have 2 episodes left of this campaign, and the ingredients of success we will still explore are sort of entrepreneurship or through fearlessness, which is a quality that entrepreneurs really have to have. And then finally in December, we have a final episode of the campaign on especially deep technologies and what can we do with the deep technologies in Finland, and of course in cooperation with Finnish organizations. Then we really highly recommend you to also follow Study in Finland on all the different social medias, because they often are the place where all the information is gathered and shared. So with that, we would like to leave you with the short video on some of our international students' experience.
Yeah, sorry, I don't think we have time for the video clip anymore because time is running out. I hope the presentation was informative, and I think we might have time for a question if there are any. If none come to mind right now, I'll be at the Study in Finland booth for the rest of the day. And also I want to mention that we have 2 Finnish higher education institutions here at the fair. We have Tampere University. Joanna will speak in the next seminar to you as well. And then we have Tampere University of Applied Sciences also here. So the ladies will answer gladly your questions as well. But if there's anything you want to know now, I'm also ready to at least try to answer any questions. Anything? If not, then thank you so much. And you will find me at level 2 in our booth. Thank you.